Hi everyone, I'm Tammy from Minerva. If you've ever seen colour blocked outfits in shops and you've always wanted to incorporate that style into your handmade wardrobe, today I'm going to break down how you can try this trend at home really easily. So colour blocking is a trend that pops up every year. It's really playful, and what it basically is when you take contrasting colours and you pair them together to create a really bold statement. It's such a great technique to give any garment that wow factor. Colour blocking can be really easily incorporated into any sewing pattern when you just simply assess the construction and the pattern pieces. So let's say you have a dress pattern that only has side seams but no other seams on a dress. You could just easily chop off the bottom section of the dress and fill that with any colour you want to create that colour blocking effect. Or alternatively, if you do have a sewing pattern that has quite a few different pattern pieces, you could sew the pattern as is but actually plan the colour placement on the garment so not all the pattern pieces are cut out of the same colour or fabric. But specifically for this video, I'm going to show you 4 different sewing patterns that I think would be perfect for colour blocking, and they range from being more beginner friendly to intermediate. So the first pattern that I'm going to share is probably the easiest of the 4, and that is the Stylolenux Montana dress. This pull-on style dress is honestly really comfortable, and it has a very loose fitting silhouette, so it's perfect for that no fuss make. It has a gathered skirt with inseam pockets and no fastening, so if you hate sewing zips or buttons or anything like that, this is definitely a pattern for you because it will just slip right on. So looking at the technical drawings of this pattern, you can see it's actually a really simple shape, and this would be really easy and simple to try colour blocking for the first time. There's a really clear bodice section and a skirt section which you can just easily sew both of them in different coloured fabrics to achieve a really simple colour blocking effect. This dress from Oliver Bonas is such a great example of how you could easily hack the Montana dress to create a similar effect. So you can easily sew the top section in one colour and then the bottom section in another colour to get that really striking colour blocking effect. So the Montana dress can be sewn in either a woven or a knit fabric, which is really nice and versatile. But I came across this gorgeous bamboo jersey fabric on our website. It has such a gorgeous colour payoff. This is the red shade on our website. If I just give you a bit of a close-up, you might be able to see the texture of the fabric. You can see it has a really wonderful drape. It's very, very floaty and obviously stretchy because it is a jersey. And then this is the blush shade of the exact same fabric. So it's a really gorgeous dusty pink. But when you pair them together, that would make such a gorgeous colour blocking effect for this dress. I honestly love the look of this fabric, and because it's a stretch fabric and you're using a pull-on style dress pattern, this will be super comfortable to wear. I honestly think these 2 colours really do work beautifully when paired together. I mean, so on the Montana dress pattern, you could totally play with the top part being the blush and the bottom part of the dress being the red, or you could obviously swap them to get a different effect. I just think doing something like this on such a simple pattern will really make it feel so much more elevated and much more statement. The next pattern that I want to talk about is the Cynthia Blouse by Vicky Sews. It's a oversized shirt and it has a looser fit, so it's a very trendy silhouette. There's a back yoke with an inverted box pleat, as well as drop shoulders and a button cuff for a bit more of a modern take on a classic shirt. I also like that this pattern actually has an uneven hem, so the front part of the shirt is higher than the back. Now, I have had so many recommendations on Pinterest for colour blocking shirts. I don't know why, it must be such a trend at the moment. But I found this image from Shein, and it's a really nice example of how you can play with 4 different colours in one sewing pattern to create that colour blocking effect. I like as well that they're all pastel and they feel really complementary, like they're not really jarring, which I really like because it makes it feel a bit more subtle. And then I came across a really gorgeous shirt from a brand called With Nothing Underneath, and it reminded me that you can play with colour blocking but use stripy fabric or patterned fabric to contrast each other, so it doesn't always have to be colour. I like that they use different stripe fabrics but they vary in density to create that colour blocking effect. And I just think the colours that they chose look so chic and expensive. This is something I definitely would love to recreate in the future. So for the Cynthia Blouse, they actually recommend using shirting or dress fabric that's not too heavy. So you're thinking your cottons, your linens, your viscoses, anything like that. And keeping with that very chic and modern theme, I came across our gorgeous cotton poplin range. This is the beige shade and I absolutely love this colour. Kind of looks off-white on camera, but it is beige, a lot more beige in person. If I just give you a close-up, this is what it looks like. You can see it obviously has a really nice amount of drape. It's very lightweight, which is perfect for shirting. So to go with the beige, I also got our ivory shade in the exact same fabric. And I honestly think they look really, really perfect together in a colour blocked outfit. I love that when they're paired together, they're not really contrasting colours, but they are different enough to create a more subtle colour blocking effect. So I would play with keeping the bodices in one colour and then actually making the sleeves and maybe the back yoke a different colour to create a really fun effect. So you can definitely play around with just colour blocking any section of the pattern. You just want to make sure you plan it in advance so you kind of know where everything's going to sit. But honestly, this pattern and these colour pairings has given me such a luxury vibe. So if you want to try colour blocking but you don't want to use really bold and statement colours, why not try using more neutral colours to still get that really fun colour blocked effect without feeling really, really in your face. But saying that, I did actually come across this shirt on Rico. And if you're feeling a lot more adventurous and you want to try colour blocking but in more of a patchworky style, you could always take the Cynthia Blouse pattern and actually make a fabric out of patchwork pieces. So you're going to colour block maybe different squares onto a fabric and then use that to cut out your pattern piece. So that's definitely way more complex, but I just thought it was an interesting way of combining colours if you want to be a bit more statement with colour blocking and would like to incorporate a patchworky style. So the next pattern I thought would be perfect for colour blocking is the Stylolenux Skirt. It's a really gorgeous panelled skirt that has a button front patch pockets with pocket flaps, and a really flattering straight A-line shape, as well as coming in two different lengths so you can sew it either below the knee or above the knee. So because this pattern already has panelled pieces as well as patch pockets, there are so many options for you to play with colour and use colour blocking in this pattern. I found this really great example from Warehouse and it really demonstrates how much fun you can have with just two colours in one sewing pattern. I honestly love how they've played with colour on this skirt. So they've just basically made each side of the skirt the exact opposite in colours. So the left has a brown pocket with a cream backing and the right side has a cream pocket with a brown backing. So really, really simple, but even just the little details of the belt loops just make it look really, really stunning. So I thought for this one, I'd play with a bit more of an out there colour pairing. And I came across our gorgeous stretch denim fabric, and this is the shade Ochre. Can we just talk about how gorgeous this looks? I really, really love the shade of this fabric. It feels really expensive. I don't know why, but if I give you a bit of a close-up, you'll be able to see the detail of the fabric. So you can see it has tiny little lines, and that is the denim detail on the fabric. That's the front, and then the back looks like that. It has a really nice amount of drape, as you can see. Look at that. Obviously, it also holds its shape, which is good for a skirt pattern. So this was the ochre shade, and then I also got our khaki shade in the stretch denim. Oh, I love this. It's so, so nice. It looks a bit black actually on camera, but it's much more khaki in person. If I try and give you a bit of a close-up, you can see it looks more green on camera. But look how chic those two colours look together. I think actually with the yellow next to it, it looks a bit more green. But I really adore this colour pairing. It looks really, really chic. The Lennox skirt does recommend using fabric like denim, linen or cord, but for added comfort you can also use a stretch denim. I think they just recommend to size down one size. So you can really play with this pattern however you'd like for colour blocking. There's so many options. But if you did like the idea of doing opposites, you could play with one side being khaki with an ochre pocket and the other side being ochre with a khaki pocket. Or you could always do one panel one colour and then the other panel another colour and just alternate across the skirt on the front and the back. That's the fun thing about colour blocking. There is no right way or wrong way of doing it. It's just a fun and creative way to inject more colour into your handmade wardrobe and just make it feel a bit more unique. So the last pattern that I want to talk about is the Liberty London Megan Maxi skirt. It's a gorgeous tiered maxi skirt pattern and it is very beginner friendly. It's got an elasticated waistband and then also ruffles on each tier of the skirt, which are also gathered for a really fun and floaty effect. It feels really fun and flowy and chic, and the fun thing about this pattern is you can actually sew it in different versions, so you can play around with varying lengths and kind of mix and match the pattern pieces to create a different effect. This pattern is a slip-on style because of the elasticated waistband, so again, if you're a beginner or in general you just hate sewing zips or buttons, this is a really simple pattern because it's literally just going to slip on over your hips. So I came across this tiered skirt from Warehouse, and it's a really fun way of how you can use colour blocking to create a bit more drama. They've used a bit of a rainbow effect, so they've used different colours on each tiers. Obviously this example does have 6 tiers, and the Megan skirt I think maximum has 3 tiers. But personally, I'm a bit more of a lover of a simpler look, so I actually think 3 different fabrics or 2 different fabrics, depending on what length you sew, would make such a nice colour blocking skirt. So for this pattern, I came across our linen look fabric in this gorgeous pink shade. Oh, I love it. It's really, really nice. It reminds me of like a bubblegum pink, but it's a bit more pastel-y, so it's not really, really in your face. And then I thought to give it way more drama, why not pair it with the green shade? It's a bit more of a lime green, but as you can see, with them together, it makes such a nice combination. It reminds me of like candy or something. So the Megan skirt does recommend using lighter weight fabrics like chambray or crepe de chine or even linen. And I thought our linen look cotton would be perfect for this pattern. As you can see, it also has a lovely amount of drape. It's very lightweight. I honestly love the look of this fabric. This is the wrong side. If I show you the right side, you can just see the linen look detail of this cotton with the lines in the fabric. This is going to be really easy to sew with if you're a beginner because cottons and linens in general are just so much easier to sew than viscoses. I personally love sewing gathered tiered skirts, so I definitely prefer it when the fabric moves really freely and it's nice and lightweight to create that flowy effect. Honestly, this linen look cotton has everything I really do look for when it comes to buying skirt fabric because of that nice amount of drape, and it just feels like the perfect weight and you're not going to get really hot in it. So I'm thinking for this pattern, I would actually sew view A and have pink on top and then have green on the bottom for a bit more of an eye-catching effect. I think that colour combination of the pink and the green just feels a lot more playful, and it just feels a bit more of a fun way to play with a simple skirt pattern. If you're feeling really adventurous, you could also play with actually adding a curve at the bottom of the pattern piece, like this unique example from Warehouse. I think it's so daring and really eye-catching. I really love how those colours work together. I think they really do complement each other, and you could also play around with making a matching top in similar colours to create a really fun co-ord set. This definitely would be way more out there, but again, it's a really fun way just to jazz up your handmade makes and kind of put your own stamp on it. I hope you liked this video and it's given you a bit more of a different perspective on how you can inject colour into patterns. I've personally done colour blocking outfits myself because I love how playful and trendy they feel. I'd love to hear what patterns or fabric was your favourite, so definitely leave a comment down below. All the patterns and the fabrics I spoke about in this video are available on our website. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.